All right, guys, I want to take you guys through the momentum exercise. Al's gone through this before. It's exercise that we always do at KT, and it's so freaking spot on because what it does is it drills you down to what is my next step? What am I going to do to continue this momentum? So if you guys are out there and you're like, man, things are rocking. I can't quite put my finger on it of what it is. And the same is true, right? So the whole exercise is momentum and drag. So where are you getting the tailwind? Where is things working? And then the other is like, man, where I got a headwind? Where do I got the boat anchor that's slowing me down? What boat anchor do I cut? Right? I might have a couple boat anchors, but what's slowing me down? That's the opposite, the other, part of this exercise. But I really want to focus on the momentum because that's what we were talking about was we've got a ton of momentum right now in a very, very challenging market, not just here in the States, but globally. It's a really tough market. And I just saw one of the topics where they were showing 35% more homes to sell than buyers out there. So the demand is low, inventory is rising in a lot of markets and a lot of pockets. But if you're out there, you're finding momentum, here's the exercise to kind of go through it. So I want to tee it up for you guys here. And we were talking about just, we feel it, but where do you specifically feel that we are experiencing the greatest momentum right now? There's the sticker.
Yeah. So when you say, where do I feel it? I mean, if I wanted to point to it, I would be like, take a look at my calendar. I'm doing 15 to 18 three-way calls a day with agents that are coming over. So, that to me is like, it's like when we look at the pending ratio in the real estate market, it's kind of the tattletale to what's coming. Like, I can just tell you that the agents are coming, like the agents are coming, they're coming. And so like there's leading indicators that are driving that, but that's where quality conversations per day are higher than they've ever been. That's where I feel the momentum the most.
I love that because you nailed what is the most important thing right now. And I saw Beer made his post today, and I've heard a lot of people about it. It comes down to conversations and really what is a conversation. And I think so that would be, the answer, right? I'm experiencing more meaningful conversations.
Yep.
Yeah. So you just hit on something. When the audience is listening to that, what Jay says is that's 15 to 18 scheduled These aren't just phone calls. Like he's not making like 18 calls and maybe 10 are picking up. These are actually scheduled calls. So the question becomes like, how do you get
scheduled calls with a qualified person that has seen the offer and is now, it's a listing presentation or a buyer presentation.
That's exactly where I was going to go with too. Is like, if your goal is to list 50 homes and sell 50 listings this year, how many conversations, like I'm talking on a Zoom or per face-to-face, shoulder to shoulder with a seller, are you getting per day, per week? That's your metric that we're talking about here. And once you start, I want you to let's stick on this for a second, because when it comes to listing homes, very similar, not the same, but very similar to, listing agents and attracting agents and helping them grow, right? It is a long game, but B, it's about how many quality conversations. That is the measuring stick to success and getting momentum. You could be having these meetings and maybe you're striking out. You could have 10 and strike out 10 times. Now we're not. They're actually all jumping in the boat. We got the momentum. The momentum's back. We lost it for a minute. Yep. And I wrote down, boat anchors. That's brilliant, John. What were the boat anchors holding? I know what the boat anchors that were holding us back. And it was a lot of negative Nancy's, just negative Nancy's, people that are always finding, things can be great and you're always going to find, somebody to find something wrong with it. Right. So I deleted those negative Nancy's away from me, right? Because they do have an effect. That's part of the environment. And for me personally, I don't know, I think it's going on 60 days ago. I deleted Facebook from my, as you guys know, from my phone. I didn't delete Facebook account. I need that for work, right? But I only was using my laptop. What that did is it deleted the anchors that were holding me back mentally. Every time I went on there and saw someone being hateful to somebody else A lot of times it was even realtors or hateful politically or all this garbage. I started losing faith in humanity. I have a choice. Delete that shit. So I just deleted it. I had like one of the most relaxing, like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't relaxing work-wise, but it let me focus heavily more on the more important things, which is family and my career, just by getting rid of those negative Nancy's. So what anchors are holding you back? I love that, John.
Yeah.
Boat anchor.
And, you know, the question that once you've identified it, like you just did, the question on the boat anchor side of things is, what is it going to cost you if you don't address it or eliminate it? That's the follow-up question, right?
Oh, yeah.
What's it going to cost you if you don't eliminate that? And so it's there comes the awareness, right? Like, oh shit, right? I got to do something about this. So it's super key. But back on the momentum side, right? So, you know, if we say, man, I'm experiencing more qualified conversations, then the follow-up question is, okay, well, why is that important?